Ashley's in our office. She's actually in our legislature. Yeah, she's from Cramer Hill.
Hey, it's right there. It's hot, hot, hot. It's hot. Thank you, everyone. Governor's here. Congressman's here. Assemblyman, we're getting going. Good morning, everyone. Let's get started. Welcome to the beautiful Cramer Hill community and incredible Cramer Hill Waterfront. It's a wonderful announcement for the city of Camden. We're excited for our residents. We expect this new park to bring great opportunity for this community, not only for our community and our city, but regionally. I think this is going to be an incredible regional spot to come to. As I begin, I would like to recognize all of our special guests and elected officials and speakers that are here today. First, I want to recognize our great governor, friend of our city, Governor Phil Murphy, for being here. Thank you, Gov. Appreciate you. Our friend, our partner, our Camdenite, a great Congressman, Donald Norcross. I don't know if I see our Senator Nilsa Cruz Perez, but I'd have to definitely give her a shout out for all she does in our 5th Legislative District. Senator Nilsa Cruz Perez. I see our Assemblyman, the Bills. Assemblyman Bill Spearman. Big shout out. And our Assemblyman Bill Moran. Thank you. Camden County Commissioners that are here today. I see Big Lou Capelli, Jonathan Young, and I will be remiss with Jeff Nash, Commissioner, who's been a big help and a big plug of making this project work. City Council members here. Councilman Angel Fuentes, my guy. Good to have you here. Cramer Hill's in the house, right? All right, there you go. Aria Iglesias, Director of Land, Chemical, and Redevelopment Division, Region 2, U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Thank you, brother, for being here. DEP Commissioner, Sean LaTourette. Sean, thank you. Where are you? I know we spoke earlier. There you go. Great conversations, incredible partner. Can't say enough about your involvement in the environmental justice within our city of Camden. Camdenite, Olivia Glenn, where are you? Deputy Commissioner of Environmental Justice and Equity, Department of DEP. Thank you for everything you do. Chris Calori, President of Camden Community Partnership. Chris. Michael Hagan, who's here? Is Michael here? Mr. Hagan, thank you. Cramer Hill. And all of our Camden residents and guests. Some of you may know I grew up in Cramer Hill. Grew up in this area. I remember when this was a landfill, and what I can't even tell you, looking at this now and how beautiful it is as a community asset. I used to drive my bikes past here all the time, and I wouldn't have guessed as an adult that this waterfront would be here, and thank you for everyone that's been involved. This park is not only a $48 million investment in our neighborhoods, it's an investment for the quality of life in the great city of Camden. It's a symbol of revitalization for our city, and I'm proud of that. As mayor, I realize I cannot get things done by myself. It takes partnerships, teamwork. I'm big on team. You know, I'm grateful for Governor Murphy, Congressman Norcross, Commissioner LaTourette, our county commissioners, partners in every level that makes this project a reality. And teamwork is big. I call it Team Camden. We call it Team Camden. Governor, you're a big part of Team Camden. Thank you. I'm confident that this park will be, as I said, a regional destination, a safe place for recreation and community gatherings. Adults will be able to fish, kayak, exercise, walk, and just meditate. I told my staff some days I need to just stop here in the middle of the day and just sit here for about 20 minutes, walk around, and get back into it. So again, this is a unique space. We have such a significant relationship to the waterways and the back channels of Delaware. Congressman Norcross, what did we do 2 weeks ago? Hi. There we go. We was out there. And I'll tell you, man, it was so beautiful. I mean, you sit there and you say to yourself, wow, where are we? And we're in Camden. And we get a chance to see so much of the beauty that surrounds us. So looking forward to all of that. So this could be more appropriate. This has truly been a transformational project. And I believe The water that encircles the parks and runs through this park, this site will always be viewed as a symbol of rebirth for Camden and Cramer Hill. So, again, thanks to our great governor, DEP, EPA, Camden Redevelopment Agency. Oliver Simpson, are you in the house? Yes, thank you for all your hard work that you've done in pulling this together. Camden Community Partnerships, Camden County, Camden Collaborative Initiative, Salvation Army Croc Center, if anybody's here representing that, big part of our community. Today, Camden has reclaimed an incredible resource and community asset as we open the Cramer Hill Waterfront Park. Thank you. Next, I want to introduce our friend who's been a great partner in our city, invested in all these urban areas, and particularly our communities of color, and the supporter of development and prosperity in our great city of Camden neighborhoods. None other than our great governor, Phil Murphy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, buddy. That was awesome. Awesome. Man, that was an incredible way to kick this thing off today. Let's hear it again for the incredible mayor of the great city of Camden, Vic Karstafen. Vic, that was awesome. Particularly the memories of your driving your bike by here and seeing what it was and now what it can be, which is incredibly emotional, I'm sure, for you and other Cramer Hill neighbors here. I won't repeat everyone's names, but I do want to say a couple of shout outs. Vic, to you and members of council. We're going to hear from Jeff Nash, so to you and Lou and Jonathan and your colleagues. Incredibly proud to be with Sean and Olivia. Olivia, having you back in Camden is way cool. Ariel Iglesias from the Feds, thank you for your leadership on this. I don't know where we would be without fighters in Washington getting our just desserts, getting our rightful dollars back into New Jersey, and there's no better fighter than Congressman Donald Norcross. God bless you, buddy. Thank you for everything you do. Bill Spearman, Bill Moe, and the Bills, God bless you. To you and Nilsa and the Fighting Fifth, which is one of the strongest teams on the field. I know we have Camden County Parks Department Director Maggie McCann-Johns here. Chris Calori, always an honor to be with you. I know Mishka Mitchell as well. Olivet Simpson, we heard from. Very excited that we're also going to hear from Michael Hagan as our cleanup hitter, representing the Cramer Hill community. Before I jump into all the VIPs and special folks here today, thank you for always so warmly welcoming me in Camden. Before I jump in, I'm only going to spend a couple of minutes. By the way, I want to meditate with you here, but can we do it in warmer weather, Vic? Is that all right? I got 18 layers of clothing on here, and I'm still freezing my tail off. It's good to be here no matter what the weather is. I just want to give a quick 30 seconds on COVID, which we feel like, remember Al Pacino in The Godfather Part 3? Every time I think I'm getting out, they keep sucking me back in. That's how this virus feels for all of us, I'm sure. Unfortunately, we're back over 1,000 folks in the hospital today. It is 99.9% Delta variant. For all the discussion and rightful concern about the potential for Omicron, that's not what we're dealing with right now. Europe, for the most part, New Jersey and America, for the most part, overwhelmingly, 99.9% of the sequencing is the Delta variant. That's what still we're up against. We're clearly still trying to do everything we can to both deal with that and also address preemptively any steps we could take for this Omicron variant, about which folks know very little other than it feels like it's very transmissible. So stay tuned, and everybody keep doing the right things. You've done it by the millions. Get vaccinated. If you're vaccinated, get boosted. If you're indoors especially, wear a face covering. We got some folks wearing masks out here today. God bless you. Please do this smart, common sense things, and we'll get through this together. So this morning, we're here to formally write the last words in the history of the Harrison Avenue landfill. And how good does that feel? And to start a new chapter in the history of Camden, a chapter that begins with the words, Cramer Hill Waterfront Park. For nearly 70 years, as you all know far better than I, this community has been cut off from its greatest natural resource, its riverfront, and all the backwaters that Vic referred to. Separating residents from the Delaware River shoreline was a sprawling, improperly capped landfill, which, while it closed 50 years ago, has seen its harmful legacy continued as a site for illegal dumping and vanishing opportunity. The wrong choices and inequities of the past that loomed over this neighborhood are finally being lifted. No neighborhood is expendable. Justice comes in all forms, and today is about environmental justice for the families of Cramer Hill. Today, opportunity has been reclaimed and replanted. Cramer Hill now is a park that ensures its residents will be part of this city's rebirth and revitalization. And getting here was not easy, as you all know as well as I, if not better. It took a lot of local engagement to make sure the space created met the needs of the community. It took local officials to provide the political will to back up the master plan. And it took meaningful investment and management from the state to bring all the pieces together. And in this, I must give a shout out to Michael Palmquist, the DEP's Office of Natural Resource Restoration. And by the way, as I said earlier, we could not do it without the feds and all the great work Donald does in Washington. Cramer Hill Waterfront Park shows the power of inclusive decision-making. It truly does take a village, and this is Exhibit A. It shows the necessity of partnership and collaboration from the street level all the way to the State House. The Camden of today is hardly the Camden of yesterday, and our administration remains committed with great passion to a stronger and more resilient Camden for tomorrow. I look at the investment we're making in the wholesale reimagining and expansion of the Walter Rand Transportation Center, just a short distance from here. That is an important investment in making getting around easier for Camden residents and for creating new jobs here. I look at the law that I proudly celebrated here on the day our statewide requirement for law enforcement officers statewide to wear body cameras, a vital investment in social justice and public safety. I look at our partnership with county leaders, with Lou and Jeff and Jonathan and their colleagues to invest millions of dollars in pandemic relief dollars in Camden's families and small businesses, critical investments in ensuring this community and its residents emerge stronger and better positioned for success than ever before. And today, I think most emotionally, I and all of you with me look at this park. This is an investment in fresh air and open space, an investment in recreation and restoration, an investment in places just to sit and think, an investment in cleaner soil and water, an investment in tying original nature much more closely to the urban landscape we carved from it, and yes, an investment in environmental justice. This is in our DNA. All this and more is what Cramer Hill Waterfront Park represents. But most importantly, I think for Cramer Hill's residents who have seen it all and probably heard a lot more, it represents a simple fact that this place matters. Again, I'm so honored to be able to help you celebrate the long-awaited opening of this magnificent place, and I look forward to coming back again and again, I hope in warmer weather, to see it in every season and every stage. And again, I thank you for the opportunity to join you in this opening, in this celebration. It is now my honor to introduce a guy I've already referenced, an incredible fighter for Camden, for South Jersey, for all of New Jersey, representing this great community in the U.S. House of Representatives, and dear friend, Congressman Donald Norcross.
All right. First, I want to apologize. This is the first time I've been in a suit and tie at the park. It seems rather unnatural. We're going to have to do a little bit better, and I certainly will be doing better. But first of all, Governor, thank you for that great introduction. My mayor, you weren't the only one as a kid was here. They used to have the traveling circus set up here years and years ago that my dad brought me and my brothers to. We worked right across the street as an electrician. I can't be prouder than to be a member of Congress and come back to see what government can do when it sets its sights on the right priorities and the right resources for the right reasons. And that's what we have here today. And it took a team, a big team, but it also took a vision. Many of those from the neighborhood who understood what it was and what it can be and what it is today. from the Senate to our bills. Bills, you send the bills to the governor to sign. But I see Lou and John. So many people have been here, part of this. But Jeff Nash, an incredible vision over time and what you've done. We wouldn't be here today if you didn't keep that ball rolling. So thank you, Jeff, for doing that. The park. 10, almost 15 years ago when the Kroc Center said we wanted a new spot, they came here. They would not have come here if the state wasn't here. The state wasn't here in a big way. But what's incredible is when they were starting to clean up, you can imagine, it gets a little messy when you're cleaning up a landfill, which used to be dumped on. They found the old foundation building blocks of the original Camden City Hall, which now is sitting outside of Vic's office down there in Camden. That might have been the only good thing that came out of that landfill. Most of the others cost quite a bit of money to clean up. Right around the corner, Farragut Boathouse. First place I ever went boating. Petty's Island, which is right off the shore here, is Pennsauken. And I can say it now, we used to sneak across the bridge when they weren't looking to go out there, because that's the only way you could do it unless you had a kayak. And we've gone several times, not only across to there, but as the river goes through Camden City. And Governor, when we were there, and I invite you back in warm weather to go down Cooper to see Camden, the old foundations on what used to be here years ago, and to go by Campbell's Soup. And you look up, and all these little kids, they have a daycare center there, come running up to the fence. Because you know what they never saw? People kayaking down the Cooper River. You know what they're going to see from now on? A lot of people kayaking, because it's getting back to nature. It's righting the wrong so many years ago. But it's also about the future. The governor talked about the infrastructure bill we just passed. $13.5 billion come to New Jersey. You don't have to spend it all in Camden, but just the right amount, as you always have. So today is about saying we've gone through a number of stages, and this is the most beautiful and meaningful because it rights those wrongs. And it took a team, and many of you are here today. So let's all pledge the last time we'll be here with suit and ties, come out with shorts, and have a good time, because this is the finest park there is in Camden City, in Camden County, and close to New Jersey. Thank you very much. I can't even see it. Anybody got glasses?
On behalf of the congressman and myself. Yeah, these are.
I'm the youngest.
Listen, this is small print, man. Ariel Iglesias is up, who is the Director of Land, Chemical, and Redevelopment Division, Region 2, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Ariel.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, that was a mistake to put the glasses away.
Well, thank you so much, Governor Murphy, Mayor Carson Finn, Congressman. Thank you for inviting EPA. It's certainly our pleasure to be a partner in this amazing project. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ariel Iglesias. I'm the Director of the Land, Chemicals, and Redevelopment Division for EPA Region 2. Our region serves New Jersey, New York, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, as well as 8 federally recognized nations. Today is about celebrating what we can achieve together when we build back better and invest in communities. Today is also about the powerful impact we can make when different levels of government come together to achieve one goal. EPA is but one partner in the effort to build this amazing park and give this community a remarkable asset that it has long deserved. EPA has stood shoulder to shoulder with the state of New Jersey and the city of Camden on this and many other amazing brownfields projects over the course of a very productive several decades. Through our Brownfields program, EPA has contributed more than $1.8 million for this park, and I'm proud that this investment is paying off so handsomely for the community. Deputy Commissioner Glenn, Commissioner Latourette, you and your amazing professionals at New Jersey DEP have been great partners to work with, and Mayor Kashnerford, Camden has made Brownfields dollar work for Camden in a way that is almost without parallel. I'm also grateful to our Brownfields team, who many of you know well, especially Alison Devine, who's here with us today, and Terry Wesley, who manages our Brownfields program. Our involvement started back in 2003 with a grant to New Jersey DEP, followed by a series of grants to the Camden Redevelopment Agency, the most recent of which came in 2017. Our grants enabled this comprehensive and ambitious Brownfields cleanup, including shoreline protection work, closure of the Harrison Avenue landfill itself, natural resource restoration, and park construction activities. EPA's Brownfields grant also helped the city of Camden leverage funding for the Salvation Army Kroc Center, which is a cornerstone to the success of the Community Collaborative Initiative project here in Camden. Redeveloping brownfields has been an important part of EPA's work since our brownfields program's inception in 1995. And in the last 2.5 decades, it has proven to be immensely successful in improving the quality of life for the people and the economic and social being of our local communities. While all of EPA's work is aimed toward making people's lives and our environment healthier, few programs are as transformative as EPA's Brownfields program. EPA's focus under our administrator, Michael Regan, is to make groundbreaking investments that will cut pollution from the power sector, modernize water infrastructure, and clean up legacy pollution that has gone unaddressed for far too long, particularly in communities of color. President Biden's and the bipartisan infrastructure deal that passed Congress recently will invest a historic $20 billion in cleaning up pollution in communities. Again, I want to express my gratitude and congratulations to everyone who made today possible. It was certainly a long, long road, but I'm also pleased that EPA was able to be a partner and help contribute to this project that will benefit so many people and the environment for years to come. Thank you. And then I will turn it back. You got it? Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, as the youngest, I'll come up here and use my eyes on this. Olivia Glenn, next, the Speaker, Deputy Commissioner of Environmental Justice and Equity of our Department of Environmental Protection. Camdenite, Olivia, come on up. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm delighted to be here with all of you for this wonderful occasion with Governor Murphy and each of you to celebrate the opening of Cramer Hill Waterfront Park. Though I am here today to share a few remarks on behalf of Commissioner Sean Latourette and all of our colleagues at the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, and many of them are here. You can all just give a wave, all the DEP people, current and retired. I see Mike Kenny here. It's awesome. We are all here and just delighted to have had an opportunity to be a part of such a wonderful project. Each generation of environmental professionals must assess and respond to the challenges of their time as we advance the important work of natural resource management. And in this time, it is our call in every way to further the promise of environmental justice. Governor Murphy has asserted a bold vision for furthering that promise, one rooted in the belief that all New Jersey residents have a right to live, work, learn, worship, and recreate in a clean and healthy environment. And this includes transforming liabilities into assets and landfills into parks. It takes a whole team of staff within and outside of state government to make such a monumental project happen. On behalf of Commissioner Latourette, I want to acknowledge all the staff in our Office of Natural Resource Restoration. I just recognized a retired staffer, Mike Kenny, also Mike Palmquist, who's been recognized already. And I just want to note that due to Mike's incredible work on this site, just last week, he received a Camden Environmental Hero Award from the Camden Collaborative Initiative. So kudos to you, Mike. I also want to recognize the members of our Community Collaborative Initiative program, most notably Frank McLaughlin, who we walked this site 12, 15 years ago when it was still a landfill and trash was falling into the Delaware. Just absolutely incredible to see the transformation of this site, and you've been a part of that all along. Our coastal engineering team, Rick Doyle and our Assistant Commissioner Dave Rosenblatt, Deputy Commissioner Sean Moriarty, whose legal team pursues the polluter pays lawsuits with our Attorney General, Andrew Bruck, that brings us the resources to perform natural resources restoration for projects just like this all around the state. And to the parties who will manage this site, Camden City, Camden County, and the Camden Redevelopment Agency, and the state team who have arranged the management agreement, including Robert Guzek at DEP and Deputy Attorney General Buffy Wilson. We thank you all. So Cramer Hill Waterfront Park will forever stand as a shining example of how DEP can effectively pursue those responsible for natural resource damages and put legal recoveries to work, restoring injured natural resources for the public's benefit and enjoyment. Harrison Avenue landfill was an 86-acre site right here in this neighborhood. DEP invested $22 million into the Salvation Army Kroc Center, which opened in 2014. And subsequently, we allocated $48 million in natural resource damage settlement monies to transform the remaining 62 acres of this landfill into a park. And being the Camden native and park connoisseur that I am here in the city of Camden, just for the record, this is the largest park in the city of Camden. So this is an incredible, incredible asset for the city. So the natural resource restoration involved constructing nearly 7 acres of tidal fresh wetlands on both the Cooper and Delaware rivers, removing over 700 tons of tires, building a 2-acre fishing pond through a 1,000-foot-long meandering channel, and reinforcing the important lesson, this is important for urban residents, that the environment can be enjoyed right where they are. It's not a bus trip or a car ride away. It's right here in your community. The Murphy administration has made tremendous strides in pursuing responsible parties for their natural resource damages throughout the state, and we are putting lawsuit and settlement recoveries to work for the people. 2 notable examples include our work to restore over 200 acres of injured natural resources at Liberty State Park in Jersey City, and the natural resource enhancement of Higbee Beach in Cape May. They will both be tremendous projects. We will continue to ensure that our efforts reach from one end of the state to the other. And for the community today, the restoration work here also furthers the promise of environmental justice. Kids of all ages might find themselves, like the mayor out here, meditating, but enjoying parkland, playground, greenways and trails like the circuit trails, but also accessing their rivers in their community for fishing and kayaking. This is about knowing that the residents of Camden not only need high quantity and high quality open space in their community, but also that they deserve it, that it is theirs, that they belong here recreating, and that this space is protected in perpetuity. And most importantly, in closing, this project affirms self-efficacy. We have demonstrated for the children and residents of Camden that we can work together to move things forward. We do not have to be limited by what we can see, but we have the power to shape and improve our communities through perseverance and collaboration. And I thank you so much.
Next, coming up is someone who's pledged a great deal of commitment over the years to making this project and making this waterfront come to fruition. Our great County Commissioner, Jeff Nash.
Thank you, Mayor, and welcome everyone. Given the weather, I thought this is the ribbon cutting for the Cramer Hill ski slope and ice skating rink. I just want to say, give me 5 minutes and then come pick me up. We hear a lot of, there's many bills that come out of Trenton. And 2 years ago, legislation that we have come to know as environmental justice. And you think, what does that mean? What does environmental justice mean, and how do you legislate it? When I first became a commissioner, a freeholder then, 30 years ago, and I would get into that kayak like we did recently, and I would start at the Ben Franklin Bridge and work my way around the Delaware River. to the Cooper River, you would have a riverfront state prison, which is now gone. The Knox Gelatin Plant, one of the most contaminated sites, and you remember this, Donald, one of the most contaminated sites in the United States, remediated thanks to EPA and DEP. Walk around to float around to Pine Point Park, which was one of the most dangerous parks in the entire county, is now one of the greatest parks in our system. And you come around to the Harrison Avenue landfill, also terribly contaminated after decades, and it is now the Kroc Center and this magnificent gift to the residents of the state of New Jersey, the Cramer Hill Park. You can talk about environmental justice, but there's nothing more powerful than visualizing environmental justice. This park defines environmental justice. Governor, thank you for making this a reality. I want to give just a couple of other shout outs. First, to my colleagues on the Board of Commissioners, our Commissioner Director, one of the most aggressive and progressive people in government, and that is Commissioner Director Lou Capelli. Thank you for being here and supporting. And Commissioner John Young, who is fighting for the residents every single day. And I'm sorry, Al Dyer. Is Al here? Al grew up across the street and has many stories, not great stories, and would not tell them here today about this property. But I want to thank them. The Parks Director, Maggie McCann-Johns, who has worked on this project from the day she came into Camden County. Maggie, there she is back there. And I do want to give a shout out to the former park director, and that is the former mayor, Frank Moran. Frank Moran grew up in Cramer Hill. He played with you, Vic, in this park. When we started this project 12, 15 years ago, he said, if you find my wallet, just let me know. But Frank Moran is not here today because he's going on a trip, but Frank Moran devoted many years to making this project a reality. Let's give Frank a round of applause. A shout out to my friends at DEP, the Commissioner, where's Frank McLaughlin, but Olivia Glenn. Olivia and I have worked together on this and hundreds of projects before she came to DEP. Olivia, this is a legacy project for you. To bring this home to your home community is just monumental. So thank you, Olivia, for everything you've done. And to my Congressman Don Norcross, somehow I got roped into this Congressional Redistricting Committee. I've come to know the other 11 congressmen in the state of New Jersey. I have reconfirmed that no one in the state of New Jersey, none of the congressional delegation, don't tell them I said this, no one fights harder for the residents of their community than our Congressman Donald Norcross. And Governor Murphy, what can I say? You have made a monumental commitment to this community. The governor recognizes what we know to be, how do you revitalize a community? How do you rebirth the city invincible? And you run many trains on parallel tracks to make that a reality. But perhaps nothing is more meaningful or important than creating, enhancing the quality of life in the community, in the neighborhood, because you can offer jobs, safety, education, all great. We want families to succeed, but stay here once they do succeed. And how do you keep them here? You build parks like this. You enhance the quality of life in a community so that they stay there and their children. Camden, we have revitalized 20 parks working with Camden Community Partnership and Chris Calori. We're revitalizing 20 parks from every corner in the city of Camden because we know that you have to enhance the quality of life to revitalize the city. You have to make sure that the children of Cramer Hill have the same opportunities as the children of Cherry Hill. And that's what this is about. And if I can conclude with a message to my friends from this neighborhood en español, por favor. Para las familias de Cramer Hill, este parque es para ustedes. Este parque muestra y creemos firmemente si trabajamos todos juntos de ayudar uno al otro, podemos hacer una diferencia. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner. That was awesome. Before I bring up our next guest, our resident, I want to acknowledge, we're remiss to not acknowledge our Camden City School Board President, Wasim Muhammad, who's here today. Thank you. Our next is our resident. Love to have you up here, Michael Hagan. Thank you for being here today. Come on up. Cramer Hill resident.
Thank you, Mayor. How are you?
I'm good today.
Good.
I don't care how much it rains out here. I'm good.
It was a little cold. Hello, and thank you for letting me speak to you. I represent the Cramer Hill Residents Association, and we couldn't be more thrilled about this park. I mean, it's a dream come true. So, okay, this is a very great day for the city of Camden as we celebrate the grand opening of this beautiful waterfront park. It's a gift to all. It was 25 years in the planning and design phase, and it was the dream of Mary Cortez and the Neighborhood Advisory Council, who met in 1996 at the Christus Lutheran Church where I work, which has been there since 1887. Special thanks to Governor Murphy and the state of New Jersey, the county of Camden, the city of Camden, and the vision and the hard work and huge dedication of so many people, too numerous to list here now, for making this dream come true. We can all take pride in Camden once again. In fact, no other municipality that I know of has a 62-acre park like this one, and it's a shining crown jewel on the Delaware River, one that is long overdue. With 357 industries, Camden always had the good stuff. And when you went downtown, you could smell the soup cooking at Campbell's. And I remember that so distinctly. My father drove the bus, and the number 54, it went from Medford Lakes to Philadelphia. And I just thought I was all that because my dad was behind the driver's seat, you know. But anyway, you could smell the soup cooking, tomato, vegetable, chicken noodle. And the smell was distinct, warm, and welcoming. Camden wasn't a good place to grow up. Camden was a great place. And, you know, if people don't know that, they need to. The Salvation Army Kroc Center, the Choice Neighborhood Grant, $35 million to rebuild Ablett Village, Resentech, the new businesses, and this park, something's cooking in Camden again. I bought my house in 1985, and I've been waiting for Camden to come back, and it's finally catching up, you know, and hurry up, you know, I'm not going to be here forever. But we've got the good stuff once again, and we're off and running, and there's no turning back. It's a new day for Camden, and we're moving on. We have certainly turned a page. This park is proof positive that we're on the right track. You can't keep an invincible city down forever. It's time for Camden Star to rise and shine and live up to its old motto of the mightiest little city in America. Thanks and congratulations on a job very well done. Thank you.
Hey Vic, can I say one thing? We're actually gonna cut the ribbon, which by the way, if you're walking down the stairs, make sure you got the scissors point down. Just want to make sure you're paying attention. Donald and I were talking about this in a sidebar, Vic, and I want to say this. I think it's an obvious point. This is an example of government working, and several things. We are good news and bad news. The bad news is we are America's Superfund, landfill, brownfield state. That's a legacy of a lot of things, including a big chemical industry. It's not just in Camden City or Camden County. And Jeff, thank you for your gracious words, but up and down the state. That's the bad news. The good news is we've been doing something about it. It started with Jim Florio, as Donald reminded me, when he was in Congress. And Jim deserves an enormous shout out for that, right? So he's not with us today, but he's with us in spirit. But Sean and Olivia, again, what a treat to have you here in your hometown, and your remarks were awesome. But make sure everyone understood. DEP, the Attorney General, the Treasury, whoever it might be, taking out the bad actors, taking the money that is raised from penalizing those bad actors and driving it straight into projects like this. That's environmental justice. That's turning this state around. And so whether it's Vic, you and your council members, Lou and Jeff and John and your members at the county level, or our team at the state level, or Donald and Ariel at the federal level, it does take a village. It's working. Government is working for the good. So honored to be here. Let's cut this ribbon, Vic.